Hey, g'day, I'm Mike and welcome to my channel. Basically what I'm doing today, or this week, is 5 days, 5 nights and really testing two solar setups. One with a 150 amp hour deep cycle lead acid battery with 160 watt panels, and also a 100 watt lithium battery with 200 watt solar blankets. And the biggest problem I have for the next 5 days is it's a beautiful location, which is what we all want for camping, but it's shaded, really shaded. So I'm going to test out basically all the power sources that I've got over the next 5 days and see if I can make it in this sort of terrain, and it might help you guys in the future as well. So this is my basic little camp setup. Firstly, there's Benji, my all-terrain dog, comes with me everywhere. Great little tent there, Holden Captiva turbo all drive, which helps, not proper four-wheel drive but all-wheel drive. Now, what I'm powering up all my devices for this camping trip, because it's the first time I've ever gone with full solar. Usually it's just ice and esky. I've got a 50 watt bass amp, a Vox bass amp, 20 watt Blackstar electric guitar amp. There's my torches for tonight. Also got a couple of battery ones as backup. Speakers, laptop. This, get the old grey man's beer when I go back to civilization a couple of days. My power inverter, charge these up, and the guitar amps, and a good Bose speaker so I can really crank up the guitars a little bit later. That's the 160 watt solar blanket, and that's the 200 watt panel. That's from Atem power, and the panel is from XTM. Now the blanket is powering this is the 100 watt lithium battery, and it's pretty light. It's amazing the difference, and haven't used this one yet. We're on 13.4 volts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the batteries through, so one's powering each day and one's charging. Got here yesterday, so it's been 24 hours. So when I started, I had 12.9 volts on this. Is the 150 amp hour deep cycle, and this one is really monstrous heavy. That's why I've got that trolley there. And after 24 hours, down to 12.3 volts. It was about 12.4, 12.5, just depends when the sun's hitting it. But yeah, definitely going to rotate this one and put this one on basically on charge in the next 15 minutes. Just rotate them through. Basic little camp setup. And what we're doing here is this is my 60 litre Brass Monkey fridge freezer dual zone, and just basically this is going to be my big power zapper for the trip. So each day we'll check in and see what the power supply is going and the voltage is left, and see if we're going to make it till Friday. Cheers. Hey, howdy, it's Tuesday, so that's 48 hours we've been out here. Just giving you a bit of an idea of the overhead cover. It's pretty shaded where I am, so we're just sort of dealing, Benji and I, with our little solar, what we can do. Most of the time it's in the shade here, but yeah, just a bit of an idea what we're up to after 48 hours. So the 160 watt solar panel has been charging the 150 amp hour deep cycle battery, and we finished yesterday when I took this one off the fridge. We're at 12.3 volts. 24 hours later we're at 12.8. It did say 12.9, but it's basically nearly back to fully charged. And with the 100 amp hour lithium battery, we start on 13.4 volts, and now after 24 hours we're on 13 volts. So that's actually pretty good, because that's 50 amp hours less, and that one's being charged by the 200 watt solar blanket. The only device that's been running basically is that little radio you can hear playing really bad AM radio, but sort of music from my childhood, and about 20 minutes on the bass amp. Just also where we are at the moment, this is up here on the Atherton Tablelands, and it's winter, so it's June. It's been quite crisp in the morning, so your daylight hours also affected by that, but so far I'm more optimistic than yesterday. We're going to get through to Friday. So it's only 3.5 hours since we swapped batteries, and we went from about 12.8 volts straight down to about 12.3 volts within basically an hour and a half. Yeah, so now I've got to have the risk of running this one overnight, the 150 amp hour lead deep cycle lead battery with the 160 watt panels, or do I switch over to the 100 amp hour lithium with a 200, because that's still got about 13 volts, 13.2 at the moment. So yeah, anything around 12 volts, we start to go flat and the fridge is automatically going to turn off. So it's going to be cool tonight. But yeah, the problem with the panels, as opposed to the blankets, from what I've seen, is they don't really operate that well in shaded areas. That's where that's where the blanket really exceeds. So in direct sunlight, that's why you see it on boats and top of four-wheel drives and so, perfect. Shaded, not so well, so at least I've got the backup and yeah, the two systems. But yeah, I'm gonna run the gauntlet tonight. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll see if we make it in the morning. Ciao. Yep, so Tuesday night, day 3 sort of, but just an update. So we're at 12.2 on the the 150 amp hour deep cycle lead acid battery with the 160 hour panel. But the big thing to note is my USB charged lanterns, they've all died. I've got 2, and I've got 2 D-cell battery lanterns which are still doing a sterling job. These ones here, but I've got the warning lights on these guys. Oh, it just died for the second time. So USB technology still hasn't lasted as long as the warning lights there, as the battery powered. So another one there, going there, and yeah, so this is night 3, and these guys have died. I turn everything on at the same time, and lights on so that they'll be charged tomorrow. Maybe I'll charge the replace batteries tomorrow. Did it tonight, but yeah, good old battery power is still surpassing USB charge storage power as we're going at the moment. And it's 8:30 the next morning. Went to bed with 12.3 and survived. Oh, 11.9. We're at 12.1 before. But yeah, sun's out, so it should be enough just to barely get us through to lunchtime. We'll see how we go. So day 3, 36 hours, Wednesday. Got here on Sunday, so it's time for the changeover. So we're done now 48 hours on the 150 amp hour lead battery powered by, that's the 160 watt panels. And we're doing the changeover today back onto the blanket there, the 200 watt blanket with the 100 amp hour lithium battery. So just an update for when we do the changeover. Always doing the voltage test. So after 48 hours of use and a bit of charge there, 11.9 on the big fella. Also charging now one of the lanterns, the USB, and I'll charge the other one on the lithium. And after this one being on charge overnight for 13.2, which is basically, I think we finish on about 13.0. So this switch over now, so another 24 hours coming up on this one. Well, it's 2 hours before changeover, going the 96 hour, just not quite there. So we're charging the 150 amp hour lithium with the 160 hour panels, and we're on 12.5. That'll probably change when I take it off charge. But more importantly, last night when I went to bed with the 100 amp hour lithium, we're on about 12.9, 13 volts. Then at the moment we'll drop down to 11.8, but yeah, when I wake up this morning at 12.5, then we just tumble. That's the difference with lithium batteries. They sort of no drop off, then just fall off a cliff, whereas the other ones, the lead acid, just slowly decline. But more importantly, what's happened now with the fridge is we've conked out. So we're on battery saving mode there with the fridge. You can see it, yeah. So I'm going to have to change the battery. So we didn't get quite 48 hours with 100 amp hour battery there, and the 200 watt panels. But yeah, one more day to go. I think I can still rotate them through and still get maybe through another 24 more hours, but we'll see how we go. So it's 2 o'clock on the Thursday, day 4, and yeah, the fridge is just conked out because Big Bertha has finally died. She's packed it in, so I got 52 hours out of him. Because it's 12.2, but yeah, no, it does keep conking out the fridge, low voltage at the moment. And I got 46 hours out of the 100 amp hour lithium. So this one's been on charge now for about 4 hours, got 12.6 volts. It's probably not enough, but I'm going to do a rotation just to keep the fridge going, because it keeps conking out, and see if I can get this one a bit more charge, just so we can get through the night, because tonight is the last night. I was just playing that, and that did suck out the last little bit out of that, which was to be expected. But yeah, I was at the life end of this one. But coming here, I did test this one. I did 4 days straight at home. My backyard, good 6 to 8 hours pure sunlight every day. Whereas sort of here, there is no pure sunlight. So to get over 48 hours has been pretty good, actually, because there's not been one time that the panel's been in direct full sunlight. It's always been partial. So yeah, getting there, battery swap, and we've got about another, I don't know, 20 hours or 18 hours or so to go. Let's see if we can keep that fridge going. There's Benji, the wonder dog. So it's 4:15 on Thursday afternoon. So this is coming into the 5th night. Just giving you an idea of just sort of, what the sun exposure is like where I'm at. It's like the most beautiful, idealistic camping ground. I had this place to myself pretty much all week. Just really 3 visitors in total. And on a side note, I did have to leave the camp twice, and 2 days in a row, just half an hour at a time, just to get into reception and just do some business and check. So half an hour each battery and solar panel. Is minus, so I didn't use. But yeah, 4:15, there's absolutely no sun on the panels. That's the idea of this short little video. So basically tonight's the 5th night. I'm gonna lose power completely, but I'm actually quite happy with about 110 plus hours at the moment. So when I said I've done 4 days straight with my 150 amp hour battery and the 160 watt panels, that was 4 days and counting. I just got bored with it and I just gave up. But this is actually 5 days in reality, and this is where I've been staying, and this is the sun exposure I've had basically the whole time. So I think done pretty well. What's that? 250 amp hours in battery storage in total, and 360 watts combined in panels and blankets. So yeah, gonna die tonight, but it's the last night. Every beer's been cold. Done. Won't tell you how much I've done, but yeah, all the meat's been frozen, the drinks have been cold. I'm leaving tomorrow in the morning, so actually to do 5 nights in this beautiful, idealistic little piece of paradise and have it secluded in 2022 is actually I've achieved exactly what I wanted to achieve. So in normal circumstances, I wouldn't spend 5 days, 5 nights in the one spot. I'll be on the road for a couple of days and here and there, and you charge up here and there, and definitely got a lot more solar exposure. This is one of my favourite little spots here, and I knew that to be 5 nights and 5 days here, I'd need to have at least 2 systems to run just to try to even make it, because this ain't my backyard. But it's been worth it. What a great stay, and clear the mind, and nice and relaxed. Just in another little video, 4:30, and this is the beautiful camping spot. No sun, but hey, I've got 2 systems which got me here for 5 days. With all that shade, I think we've done okay. Beautiful spot. Atem Tablelands, North Queensland, inland from Cairns. He's had a good boy, a few swims. And we don't need to sleep with a beanie anymore. The first 2 nights are pretty cold, but no, gorgeous. Beautiful time of day. Well, it's 9 o'clock Friday morning, and basically ran out of juice last night as expected, but the fridge is still sort of going. It's minus 1 degree in the freezer and 5 degrees in the fridge. It should be 2 degrees and minus 12 or something like that. But because it was cold last night, she's still frozen, the meat, which is only sausages left and all the beer's drunk. So lasted nearly, what, 115 hours on those two solar setups in this nice shaded beautiful little environment which I've had to myself with Benji the whole time. So yeah, no, it worked, and I'm pretty stoked with the results. And like I said, I wouldn't do normally 5 days in the one spot unless it's somewhere like this, but for my requirements on the road and that, this is easily going to pass the test and keep me going. I hope that helps you guys too. Cheers, thanks for watching.